Hello team, as was requested, let's crochet bag from t-shirt yarn. On some resources it's called t-shirt yarn, on another one it's fabric yarn, but it's particularly the same, so no worries about this. For today's bag we will need hook 8 mm and also two items of the yarn, and I will leave all links in the description down below for all items I'm using here. And also today we will need stitch marker. We need to left maybe 1 meter of yarn and then start to crochet our first row. As all rows we will do just one loop and knot in it to start our row. Now we have two ends of our yarn, one of them 1 meter and another one is attached to the whole bunch of yarn. To start our row we might put the shortest one end of our yarn over the hook and then take the second one end and take it through both of loops we now have on our hook. So I will show again how to do so a little bit slower. We take our short end, put all around the hook and then take the second end through both of these loops. We might do 23 this kind of stitches. Just showing again for more clarity how to do the stitches. We will take the shortest yarn over the hook and then take the longest one end over both of loops on our hook. "23 stitches done. At this point we just forgot about our short end. We just leave it and we return to this end a little bit later. Made one loop and then put a stitch marker on it. So what we are doing for our second row, we have our first row done, and now we will put our hook inside each stitch of our first row, which in the end on the hook we still will receive two loops from the first row, like total 3, because we already have loop on a hook, and then taking our end through both loops and then again through both left loops, just like single crochet. Yeah, just like single crochet. doing 21 single crochet at the same way. One loop left, and in this one loop we will put 3 single crochet. Then we continue making 21 simple single crochet in each loop, 1 single crochet. Now we have 2 loops left on our second row to do, and in first of these left loops we will put just 1 simple single crochet, and in the next one we will put 2 more single crochet because already 1 single crochet already there, and as a result on both ends of our base of the bag we will receive 3 single crochet in one stitch. To end the second row, we leave a long loop. We take out our stitch marker, and on that place where the stitch marker was, we put our hook from a different side as we usually putting our hook, and then we take this long loop left from our crochet through this hole using our hook, and after that, just a moment, give me a couple minutes, I will do this. Yeah, done. After this we will take our hook out and we put hook inside the loop we're receiving from the loop taken through that hole, and then we will take our long end of the yarn through these both stitches to make a little end or knot. To begin the third row, we will do one loop, then we will do in the loop we already have from a previous row 1 single crochet and then another one, and the next loop we also will do 2 single crochet, and then we will continue our row with 21 single crochet, just 1 single crochet in one loop. On the second side of our base, where it's our yellow stitch marker, we finishing making 21 single crochet, and then we will do 3 repeats of increases, or just start doing 3 times or 2 single crochet in each loop. And to finishing our third row, we continue to doing 21 single crochet. Here we are near our orange stitch marker. We still need to do 21st one single crochet, and then one loop left in which we might put 2 single crochet. The same scheme to enter the third row. We will leave a long loop, then take out the stitch marker, put from the different side our hook, take the long end of the loop through the loop where now our hook is, and then put hook inside the loop we just received from throwing our long loop, and taking long loop also on the hook, and just pulling our end to make it look a little bit nicer, and then take our end through it. And now our first one row will begin. So please focusing. Yeah, done. What we are doing now, we have 3 loops from 3 different rows we receiving, and instead of putting our hook to the previous row, third one, we will put our hook and take yarn through the second row, and then through the first one row, and after that we're receiving 3 loops on our hook, and we will take yarn through all of them. Because in a previous row we did increase 3 increases, that's why now we might put and take a yarn through the same loop we just did, and then we put again in the same loop we did from the first row, and make a loop through all 3 of them. So now our 2 loops are done, and then we have one more loop which are going to the same loop from the second row. So that's why we will put our hook to this loop twice, and then already 4 times to the same loop from the previous row. At this point, we start our usual normal row with our 21 repeats. We will do one loop from the previous row, one loop from the previous row, and now we have 3 loops on a hook, and then we take yarn through all of them, and we repeat the same pattern 21 times. Just showing again how we do our first one row, we take the yarn from the loop from the previous row and then from the previous row, and then take our main yarn through all of them. At this point, we already reached that point where we might to do 6 like this kind of stitches in one loop from our first row. Again, don't forget that we will put like the 2 loops in the same loop from the second row and 6th one from the first row. Again, I will show whole process on a video just to don't confuse you as much as possible. Now, when we did our 6th difficult one, we continue making 21 simple one, this kind of stitches. And we nearly there. There are just one loop left. It's our 21st one stitch in this row. We finishing this pattern, and then we still need to do 2 more stitches. As you remember, we already did 4 of our 6th one on both ends, and there are just 2 left. At this point, I might to say that probably you already noticed that in one side of my base, I did I put 6 stitches in one loop, and on another side we now doing I put in 8 stitches in the same loop. It's my bad, it's completely my bad, because I miss somewhere this loop, and it's too confusing probably for you, but yes, it's my bad, and you might receiving 6 like loops on both sides of the base and not 8 one, sorry. And we're finishing our first one row in the same way. We take a little bigger loop, then it takes through a different way via hook with hook, sorry, and then we put our hook and take this long end through the like loop we are receiving from making this loop through loops. Really pathetic explanation, but I really hope that on video it's much clearer and much understandable. We just finishing our first one row, and now we will start with 5th one. On the 5th one row, we will do single crochet in back side loop only. What does it mean? So instead of put our hook under 2 loops, we will put under just 1 loop, which is back one. So how to identify which back one loop is? It's the back one from where you're looking right now when you're crocheting, and we take a loop through like back loop, and then on the hook we receive in 2 loops, and then we take our like finishing loop through our 2 loops on the hook. Forgot, I forgot a stitch marker, so don't forget to put it on the first one loop we have done, or first one single crochet we have done in our row, just to mark where we have started, and don't forget to end our row at this point. All our fifth one row will be just single crochet in back loop only, without increasing or decreasing. Here's the end of our fifth one row, and we ending it as usual. Already we have done all our previous rows. The sixth one row would be also without increasing or decreasing. We will put our hook under the loop from our fifth one row, and then from our fourth one row, and then taking the thread through 3 loops we already have on our hook. Uh, just to repeat again, the pattern, we will take like loops or hole from our fifth one row, and take a yarn through it, and then from our fourth one row take a yarn from it, and then take yarn through all 3 loops we have on our hook right now, and continue doing like all the way through this sixth one row. As usual, I have left a couple stitches in the sixth one row just to remind how to do this, and we will finish our sixth one row as usual, as we already have did all our previous one rows. we need to take our hook from a different side of our crochet, take the yarn through that hole and join it, putting our taking loop through loops we just received, and making one loop just to make a knot. Actually, did you remember that yarn which I left? And probably you ask a question when we will hide it, and now is this point, which is putting our hook in the next one loop from where this yarn is now in, and take a loop through this hole, then through the next one take a loop and make like slip stitches, and then continue to do it all the way through just to next one hole, to next one, and in this case we will hide all our holes, and also we will hide our yarn. Here's the result. It looks different from different side, but it's what we intended to do. And now we will start our first flower row. Just don't rush on it. We take a loop through our loops, then take a yarn over our hook, then take a loop from the same loop again, and now we have 4 loops on our hook. We need to skip a couple loops, just 2 loops, and continue crochet in the third one from where we are now. Again, we put our hook on a third one loop, take a yarn over this. After this action, we need to put our yarn over our hook again and take another loop from the same loop we just did. We have 7 loops on our hook, and at this point we take our yarn through all of them, and on the back side we will receive a little yarn covered, but we will sort it out later. At this point we just need to take yarn through all our loops and then make a loop again just to yeah just to do it. Sorry, my pathetic explanation. And now there are 2 loops left between these petals of our flower, and in these loops we will put the yarn over our hook and then put our hook in a first loop. Please check that on the back side you have also like going through that like long yarn we just did from doing our petals. At this point we have 3 loops on our hook. We take yarn firstly through 2 of them, and then we receive 2 loops on our hook and take yarn through next one 2 of them. So we did just for 1 loop we have in between our petals, and now we need to do it for the second one. Again, we take yarn over our hook, and then we put our hook in the loop just left from our row, and don't forget again to check that we also like take the yarn which need to hide. And we have 3 loops on our hook. We take yarn through 2 of them firstly, and secondly we will take the yarn through next 2 of them. And at this point we can say that we did our pattern. It's actually how it's look like. Just to showing you again, focusing, please, focusing, yeah, done. How to do this pattern. Firstly we will do 2 petals by skipping 2 loops and putting our first loop to start in the same loop of our second loop we just did. The pattern would be the same. We take loop over that hole, then take yarn over the hook, take a loop through that hole, and then we skip 2 loops, and in the third one we put our hook and taking yarn over it, then putting our yarn over the hook and taking again yarn through it. Just a moment. Actually now we have 7 loops on our hook, and we need to take like yarn through all of them and make a like connected loop, I could say. And at this point we will cover it our 2 like skipped loops from the previous row. We just need to take a yarn over our hook and then put our hook in a first lifted loop, and also check that the yarn we just like choosing like using for our petals is covered, and taking yarn through 2 of the loops and then through next 2 loops, and then continue this row again when we putting our hook in the second skipped loop, and then through 2 of loops and then through 2 of loops again. So here's the pattern. We will continue to do all the way through with this pattern. Hope it's understandable. Just in case you need to repeat here, there, but without my pathetic voice, pathetic explanation, hope it would be clear. Actually, I completely forgot to put the stitch marker again. Sorry, don't forget to do it. You need to put it in the first loop we just did from our petal. Here's our final row. We still will do the same pattern. Here it would be the question where to put our second petal. So the first one we will put in the same loop from the previous petal, and the second petal we will put in the petal from our first one flower, I could say. It's the same loop where is our stitch marker. To finish our first flower row, we need to do slip stitch in the loop we just receive on the top of our petal, or like center of flowers. I put a hook inside the loop from like two our petals join, and then between our two next stitches, and then take yarn through all of it and make a slip stitch, not a single crochet. And our row is done. Now we make one loop just to end it, and we will start to make a second one of flower row when we already have a little bit a different situation with our loops. So what we will do, pattern still will be the same, but we use a little different holes or loops from our previous row. So we use the center for our petals, center which we already have defined, center of our flowers, where we will put to our loops, to our petals, and the pattern stays the same. We did the 7 loops, and then take a yarn over all of them, and after it we still need to make 2 stitches, and to find our 2 loops where we need to put our hook at this point, it still would be in the middle of our petals, but please look carefully how to find it. It's actually like the fourth one loop from the first pattern of the petal, and then the joined loop from the first one petal to the second one petal. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but I hope that on the video it's much more clear and visible. And after we define with loops, we still continue with the same pattern. At this point, please don't forget to put stitch marker on our like center or where we have start our first petal to know where to finish our row. And here I would show again how to do the petals in this row. And here's how flowers will look like. We still need to have done one pattern. Again, we will use for our first petal the petal, the hole we're using for petal from a previous row, and then we will use the hole from a petal of our first pattern to put a second petal of our current pattern. Yeah, and pattern stays the same. And to finish whole row, again we need to put a slip stitch between our petals. Then we continue to crochet the row with the same pattern. Actually, it's quite interesting. Then on one side we're receiving these wonderful flowers, and on another side we're receiving just the plain pattern. Hello, here we are. it's our progress, what we have done so far, and actually we can count the rows. I decided to stop at this point, and the back will be look like slow, a little small one, not so high one. But yeah, how much rows I have done? Actually, this is 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have done 8 rows in total, so it's look like we have 1 flower, 2, 3, 4 flowers. For me it's look okay, and I used both of the yarn, and this is what left, and I left this just for our handle. And at this point, what we will do, we will sew in our zip. Yeah, I hope the color look normal. It's a little different, you could see here, but yeah, I think it would be much. And this is for our handle as well. It's all what I need at this point. And right now I put zip away because we will start with this one. So we have stopped here, and because as you remember, we have started somewhere here, and row by row we moved in the middle. It's okay, it's normal. If you have the same, I would surprise if you like receiving somewhere here. It's probably something not right, but it's okay if it's still okay for you. This row we will do single crochet, and we will attach on both of the side this something for handles. And how we will do our single crochet, it would be in each loop we have here. And we might receive the same as we made at this side to make it more like symmetrical. When it's our flower, we put our hook here and then here, and as a result we have 3 loops on our hook, and we're taking yarn through 3 of them, and then here and the next one. You see, it would be our, again, it's the center of the flower. If I show a little bit closer, I put hook here, and then on the next loop behind the center of the flower. So let's define our, like, it would be at under this flower. So these both stitches, I will put stitch marker here, might be used for our, somewhere here, for our metal seam for petal. And at this point we reach our stitch marker. We will use next couple loops to attach our metal handle, and to do this we might just crochet and take a yarn through this seam as well. Once, single crochet done, and then the next one. We just like, oh, actually, so funny, I made something wrong. Let's try again. I will try to do my best. How we can do this? Probably put in front of it. Let's try this way, and then take a yarn. Off. No, I guess I know now. We just take a yarn through this loop, then put it up on our loop, and take the yarn through our metal seam. Yeah, attach. You see, it's attached. And do the same for the next one. We take the yarn and then put our hook inside and take the yarn through this metal seam. Yeah, and then continue crochet. I will make a couple of single crochet just to see our result. So I already made through this loop, making here. So it's attached. You see? Oh, please focus in. Yeah, it's half attached using a couple of our stitches. Yeah, and it's what we are looking for. Probably not, I need to redo it. So I'm here again, and I take it out until this stitch, and instead of putting our metal seam from this side, I will put from another side. How I can do it? I can take a loop and put it over. So now our metal seam on our loop, and then take a yarn through it. Next, I put the hook on the metal seam through the loop, make a single crochet. Yeah, now what I want to do, let's make again couple single crochet to see it's the right way to do it or not. Yeah, it's ideal. It's what I want to do. And yeah, I will show again on the another side, and by this let's continue to do just single crochet as I show. It would be just two in the middle, and then center of the flower, two in the middle, center of the flower, and see you here. I nearly reached this side, and actually at this side we will attach our handle right here under our center of the flower. Why it's happened like this, no idea. I just count that and this side I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 center of the flowers, and on another side I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and here is that one where we now will attach our handle, metal seam for handle, and actually here at our single crochet, and at this point here it's my 2 loops where I will attach this metal seam. How I can do this, I will put it upper, then put hook inside the loop inside the metal seam, take a yarn over, sorry, not let's try again. I just take a yarn, I took a yarn, and then I put a metal seam here, and then I put my hook inside and take a yarn and make a single crochet. Yeah, I made it. And in the next one I just put inside metal seam, put inside the center of my flower, take a yarn, again. Let's try again. Sorry, I completely confused myself and yourself. Sorry about this. Take a yarn, then put our metal seam on a hook, and then take yarn over, done. Then take a yarn again through our center of the flower, and at this point take a yarn through our metal seam. No, again, it's the same one as the... Oh, how I can do this? How I can do this? Sorry, I probably wouldn't post it. Well, I might show you all my struggles. Let's try again. Yeah, I did it. You see? So, how I did it? I reached the point where we will attach our metal seam, and now I put it this way. I take a yarn, I put the hook like through this metal seam, through the loop, next one loop, take a yarn over it, and then hold it and take a yarn upper, done through metal seam, and then again I put my hook inside this metal seam, inside the loops, take a yarn through all of them, and then to finish single crochet take a yarn above it without putting through metal seam. Yeah, we have done. I have attached. So just continue single crochet. And here is the last loop. And now to finish this row, we will do as usual. So at this row we have attached our handles on both sides. For the next row we will do loop, one loop. Then we will take the yarn through this loop of our row where we're right now located, then put the yarn over the hook and take the yarn from the previous row. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on our hook, and we will take yarn through all of them. Here's our first stitch in a row. So to show the next one, I will try to do it a little bit closer. Here is our next one stitch. I will take yarn, then put yarn over on our hook, take yarn from the loop from a previous row, and then take yarn through 4 loops we have right now on our hook, and just again loop here, loop over, loop from previous row, and yarn through 4 loops. Here's how it will look like. Continue sewing until the handle and see you there. We reach here. Let's decide together what we will do with our handle. And here's the last loop left before I do the same as we did before, and then through all of them. Done. And now we're here, so I will just for now I will take a yarn through the loop on the top, then take the yarn over, then I put my hook inside, then on this loop take a yarn over all of it. We're done. And now take a yarn through 4 of them. Hope it will look what I expect. Yeah, it is. And now let's repeat the same. So take the yarn from this loop, they put the yarn over, then put the hook inside, then to this loop, take the yarn through all of them, and then take the yarn through 4 of them. Yeah, and we have our handle attached, really good attach here. And right now we will continue with the same pattern as we did until the next handle, and I can repeat what we just did to this one. Let's repeat again. There are just 1 loop before handle left. And now it's the moment. Take a loop, take a loop over, Then take a yarn and now take a yarn through 4 of them, the next loop, and continue doing the same pattern until the right point. It would be somewhere here, and actually how it looks from a different side. There are just last couple loops left. And the last one. And at this point we do the same as with the rest of the rows. Done. Actually, at this point I intend to cut the yarn, so, and then hide it. Oh, stupid thing I have ever done. Silly me. Really stupid. Let's do our last stitches again, in case you did the same one, what I just did. So, take yarn over. Probably I could call this video all my mistakes I did during crochet. I don't know. And at this point, instead of taking this loop over this half, I intend to take just the end of it. Actually, I'll take the end, and then I intend to hide this end. To do so, it's possible to put the yarn inside all of these stitches, and hide the rest of end in this way.
нас. Снова эксперт снайп. Redundant. First redundant. And it's our style. First round clown style. Redundant. We feel so nice. Shams. It's a soft area. No.